Donald Trump is fed up with Vladimir Putin. We need to understand immediately before Donald Trump entered office, he promised that within 24 hours he was going to end the war between Ukraine and Russia. Now we are almost 6 months after he entered office, and there is no progress in sight which is happening between Russia and Ukraine. The war continues on. In recent days, Donald Trump had given an ultimatum of 50 days, which if Russia and Ukraine was not to reach an agreement, then more sanctions were to be put on Russian side, because the individuals who actually have the cards to either stop the war or continue the war are the Russians and not the Ukrainians. So Donald Trump recently, I think it was yesterday, he was playing golf in Scotland, and he was with some European leaders. We need to understand that Donald Trump had got away with tariffs between Europe and the United States of America, so he was in the European Union. What Donald Trump said in that interaction, he said he has reduced those days from 50 days to 12 to 10 days. If Russia doesn't stop the war which is going on between it and Ukraine, then he is going to put more tariffs on the Russian side. And not only the Russians who are going to be affected, but those countries which are doing business with Russia. We need to understand we have some major powers who are doing business with Russia, the likes of India, China, among others. So if Russia doesn't reach an agreement within 10 to 12 days, then those countries which are doing business with Russia, they are also going to face sanctions. But we need to understand Russia is one of the most sanctioned countries on this planet. I believe it's the number one country in terms of being sanctioned. But at the same time, it has continued to thrive, even though there are some challenges which must always come whenever you are in a war, and always facing some arrogant neighbors, the likes of the European Union, and also other foreign agents like the United States of America. So we can't deny that there are challenges which are going on within the Russian population, but it has continued to kind of prosper even if they are facing these challenges. So that's Donald Trump. You never predict what's going to happen. As we all understand, previously it was going so hard on the Ukrainian president. Now that European Union have kind of relented and they have accepted that they are going to pay tariffs to the United States of America, it seems that Donald Trump is ready to sing their national anthem. He wants to sanction Russia and also to force Russia to come into the negotiating table. But we all need to understand that the Russian president, as we all understand, Russia is not Iran. Russia is not the likes of Cuba, it's not the likes of Venezuela, those small countries which can be bullied by the United States of America the way they want. Russia want to play in a way that they come out as individuals with their own aim, which made them to go into the war in the first place, is reached. So I saw the former president of Russia, Dmitry Medvedev, said that probably what Donald Trump is meaning, that if Russia doesn't reach an agreement within 10 to 12 days, then they are going to war with the United States of America. That's what the Donald Trump implies, because they have to reach their own targets. They need to reach their own objectives and goals which they had in the first place before they went into the Ukrainian war. So what are your thoughts about President Trump giving an ultimatum of 10 to 12 days, and will Russia be bullied, or they will land in terms of because of these sanctions? Before I forget, there is another issue which, if these sanctions continues, if Donald Trump goes ahead and sanctions the likes of India, China, because they are the countries which buy mostly oil from Russia, then we should also be prepared for the rise of fuel prices and other kind of destruction of their normal lives which is ongoing in the world, or in the world at the moment, because businesses will be disrupted, there will be oil deficiency and many more other things. At the same time, we need to remember that while Donald Trump is continuing to bully Russia and Ukraine, he is also allowing a genocide to continue in Gaza. He is supporting the Israeli genocide which is being committed currently as we are going on. But less damage is being done in the Ukrainian side, even if we understand there are people also who are losing their lives in the Ukrainian side, but the really damage where it's happening and where much attention should be diverted to is in the Gaza Strip. But Donald Trump seems not to care about that. So if you are interested to watch more of this kind of content, just remember to subscribe, share. See you in my next one.